So this is a supporter of Italy, but was really anxious to see England win the match, and he expressed some disappointment. That will end their 5-decade trophy drought. Their development opens up the space for countries that have been struggling to take a cue from their development plan to improve their football. This afternoon, we explore what Ghana can do to bring the Black Stars to its days of glory. We have our football experts, Gary L. Smith. George Addo Jr. is joining us from London. Hello, George.
Very nice. It's great to have you.
It's a chaotic afternoon.
Is it? Absolutely.
Is it the same in London?
I think it's good. I think the post-mortem is ongoing. A lot of people are complaining and still discussing whether Guy Southgate did the right thing or not, whether the boys could have done better. But it's all been overshadowed with the racism, chants and racism stuff that's ongoing across social media, really. And we've also just had the indication right now that Guy Southgate is not going to extend his contract with the English national team. He says he needs a break of a sort to think about it. This is not the time to extend his contract. So, and he made another important note that he wants to leave, or he doesn't want to outlive his time with the national team. That means he's going to try and leave at the right time. We've always said that it's good to make your way when the applause are the loudest. So we don't know if Guy Southgate is saying bye-bye to the English national team, because today in his press conference, he kept saying this team can do well and we have to believe in this team, almost like he's trying to say bye-bye to everybody. That's the latest news that's coming. But so far, London is cool and chilled. We are home, but without the football.
Gary, but I mean, if you had the gentleman who spoke there, he kept insisting that the coach should be blamed for what happened to the England team because he packed defenders onto the park. And I mean, that really, how did this play in their loss?
Well, I mean, before then, like I said this morning on the AM show, the England coach has brought them this far. In the 2018 World Cup, he got to the semi-final. All right. No matter what method people say did not work yesterday, it has worked for them and done them incredibly well. Okay. So you don't change a winning team in any facet of life. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Okay. Right. So let's lay that down. So yesterday, yes, he may have packed the defense, especially when he had scored first. His team had scored first. Yeah. But as they say, hindsight is always 20/20. At this point, it's all ifs and buts and maybes. And they did their best, as he has said many, many times in all the press conferences, and they did their best. Every decision that didn't work should be placed at his doorstep. So if he had won, we would have been calling him a genius. Such is the world. So yes, he was a bit too defensive. Yes, he could have been more attacking, especially because they have a lot of talent. Okay. But yeah, it's happened. So.
But guys, I think we should just tap them in the
pat them at the back.
Pat them at the back because I'm told that they've actually exceeded their target, because their target was not actually to win this game, but to prepare for 2022. And that explains why you saw a lot of very young people compared to the Italian players. So I think there's a cue here, trying to build a strong team after, all these years not winning that cup. There's a cue here for Ghana. What's that cue, Gary?
Well, they took a leaf out of the Germans' book. So the Germans in 2006, when Ghana, you see how the world works. When we were starting to go on a high in 2006, and then in 2010, we reached dizzying heights. Germany were starting their rebuilding process also. Their rebuilding process took them 8 years until 2014 before they won the World Cup. They did exactly what England did. So England decided, if it has worked for our brothers, the Germans, let's do the same. So what did they do? They set money aside, a lot of money aside, and they had a 10-year development plan. Okay. That included starting from the bottom. You know what they say, grab them young. So they went countrywide and changed the entire psyche of English.
And that really played in yesterday's match.
Exactly, which you saw. So just because this is not a hardcore sports show, in brief, they had an emphasis on children having fun when they are playing.
Okay.
So that when they go to playgrounds and they see 8-year and 10-year-olds, the emphasis is not win, win, win. No. Okay. The emphasis is at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we want you to have fun.
Okay.
We can start loading you with the tactics and things when you become a teenager, because it is only when you have fun that you can assimilate properly. Then they also decided that for children to have fun, the pitches have to be good. So they invested more than £100 million. Think about it.
Okay.
And guess what? Last year, the English government and the English FA said that money they had invested, the £100 million, is not enough.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. So they have pumped some more.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
So this is
it's not an accident.
A lot of resources,
yes,
you know, devoted
yes,
to building this strong squad.
Yes, and most of all, the 10-year development plan 10 years ago said that their aim was to reach the semi-final of this tournament.
Okay, so they exceeded their target.
Officially, they have exceeded their target.
Wow.
And to win the World Cup in 2022.
Okay.
So, yes.
So definitely, so even though they didn't win the cup, I mean, there's a lot we can learn from them. George Addo Jr., people listen to you on Joy FM, Gary also, and with your fantastic commentary on the game. I mean, for you, what's the cue in here for Ghana?
Yeah, Gary has said it all. The important thing to note is that the under-17, the England under-17, under-19, and under-21 have all won top laurels in this space. And you're adding what the national team has also done to it. You can see that from 2013 till now, when they sat down and decided that we need to build something, we need to start it all again. And it's always a gradual process. They are kind of arriving, because they have the St. George's Park big one there. And if you look at the whole strategy, it's not even only about the footballers. They're also hoping to get a lot of good coaches through the system as well. So I'm sure very soon we'll see some very good English coaches also getting an opportunity to work out in there. It's a great plan that has helped them. The only question is, one, are we as a country committed to pumping as much into football? What we say is the passion of the nation. Are we committed to doing that? Okay. If we are committed to doing that, then government says that, okay, I'm taking over Pram Pram. I am raising up these facilities so that for the next 7 years or 8 years, I want to see development of players. So we are going to pick young boys from the ages of 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, before any parents will release a 5-year-old or 9-year-old to you, you must have a very good facility. You must be sure that you're going to take care of them. You must be sure that you have good teachers. You must be sure that there's education in the package. So it must be a proper approach. And this one can be done with money. The last time when we spoke at the Ghana Football Forum, ahead of the Ghana Football Awards, the 3rd edition, Dr. Kofi Amwa, who has seen these things happen elsewhere, says government must pump $300 million into football for facilities. Okay. Now, it looked like it was, it looked like it was a crazy thing. Initially, when he said, I'm like, hey, then I thought about it again. He made another point and said, yes, $300 million, pumping that into football just means you are not going to do 2 or 3 flyovers. And the kind of returns you get in 10 years when your players are moving left, right, center, that's what you see. Because remember, aside the team playing in this final, look at the players. The number of players who are going to be sold to the Bundesliga, who are going to be sold to La Liga, and the entire returns it brings to England. You have no idea. The money they have pumped in, they're going to get it, really. And it's the thing that we must pay attention to. Because look at the youngsters. Look at the youngsters. These boys we are talking about, 21, 20, 22, 23. They have a long time to play football. If Chiellini at 36 has come to win this one. So I just feel that, look, if we can relax and have a plan, that's the thing. Have a plan and do it well. Not have a plan and not go according to the plan. We just have to stick to it, because that is what everybody is trying to do around the world. Trying to start from a point and raising it up before you can come and compete. It's not just wake up, win cup and go home, because you can wake up, win the cup and go home and you won't be back. This is the 3rd final Italy have come to, and it shows you that something is working. Something is working. We must get
something is working. And let's talk about the issues that people are also raising about the fact that our love for Black Star players who also play for outside teams, who do not really put their heart in their matches. Why don't we home grow the people from Hearts of Oak, from Great Olympics, from all these local clubs and make a great team?
Right. So it's a very common question with a rather simple answer. That the Hearts of Oak have just won the league. So presumably they have the best team in Ghana, presumably, on paper. Can you take that Hearts of Oak team and let them represent Ghana at the next African Cup of Nations?
I'm not sure.
Why? Because the quality is not good.
Okay.
So it's as simple as that.
Okay.
By Ghana standards, they may be good. But immediately you pit the same Hearts of Oak team, they will start playing the African Champions League, the African version of the European Champions League.
Yeah.
And I mean, you will see the story.
Okay.
They may be good for Ghanaian standards, but immediately you pit them against the best in even West Africa, you will see that we have a long way to go.
Okay.
And that is it. So it's like we see at Multimedia here. When you are presenting the polls, present it as if, or present it in such a way that if we put the same program on the BBC, people will say, oh wow, this is good. Are we aiming for local champion standards, or are we having Accra Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko to compete at global standards?
But we can train them, can't we?
And that is what George is saying. These days, train
comes with money.
Oh yes.
Okay.
So
we can spend and
no, but
put in resources.
Actually, you know what? And this is the other part. This is the other part of it. That you have fantastic Accra Hearts of Oak players in Emmanuel Nete, in Fatal Mohammed, in Salifu Ibrahim. But this is the thing. Now, today's local player becomes a foreign player tomorrow. So the base for the national team should be that you must be good enough to be there.
Okay.
Ghana must strive to put the best 11 it can from wherever. If it happens, like it happened with the 64 Battalion and with some great Kumasi Asante Kotoko sides. Remember, all those sides who had direct access to the national team had really sojourned in Africa. They have played a lot of, they have played at the level and they were almost cutting it at CAF level. That means like the 64 Battalion had won the CAF Champions League. The Kumasi Asante Kotoko teams of those that had also won, they were playing. That's why you see people excelling in Kumasi Asante Kotoko and were excelling in the Black Stars and they were winning trophies at the level. Okay. So the team has started, has started, but you need to give them time to really get to the level. Because if I take Thomas Partey, what Thomas Partey is going through at Arsenal, even the crowd, what he's got to face every day, is very, very different from what a local player is facing here. But all that said, they will get opportunities to show what they have got. But we have to just make sure that we are looking out for a team that is well and good for the international stage. We're not going to bring 5 foreign players or bring 3 foreign players. There are some local players who may be playing well than foreign players. Okay. If they prove to the coach that is good enough, they can come up there. At the end of the day, the coach will answer the questions.
And so what then do we do to get these international players to put in their whole body and soul into the match so they can win us the cup that we've been longing for?
Unfortunately for us, as we have seen with the England example yesterday, all the English players, they were very passionate. They didn't win.
Yes, but of course they tried.
Well, they tried. Our players also tried.
They do, but sometimes, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
So, again, because this is not a hardcore sports show, I'll just say that it's a hydra-headed beast. There's so many factors involved. Let me give you about 2 or 3 that I can. We select players to come and play for the national team, right? How do we ensure that they get into the country? How do we fly them? Okay. The standard internationally is that when players are coming to play for their national teams, they've come for footballers by nature, because of injuries and things, you have to fly them business class. Okay. So if they are coming and you fly them economy and they are cramped, that's why football is money now. It's unfortunately. Money.
Definitely.
It's unfortunate. All the countries that have won the Africa Cup of Nations in the last 4 editions, you can trace a direct route to. Secondly, I know people are out there who are saying, yeah, but the Black Stars, we have poured money into it. That is another thing. It is about money, but not all about money. Okay. It is about investing in, not monetarily, but a certain love for the country, which is what I think you are talking about.
Yeah.
That is why the England manager has been lauded so much, despite the fact that they have lost. Because they say the English team this English team in particular, represent everything that should be good about a national team. You know, they represent the ideals of England in 2021. They speak against, you know, in their culture, it's not a big deal. So anti-LGBT, no, they are LGBT inclusive. They are racism, anti-racism as well. They have a player in Marcus Rashford who has used his own salary to feed school children. So people love the team. If you bring it to a Ghanaian context, to bring back the love, I'm sure maybe people will say that, oh, they want to see Black Stars players donated to children's homes. When they come home, they want to see them visiting people. You know, that sort of thing. So what works for us, maybe what we may be able, or we should tell our Black Stars players to do, in addition to the money. And then when they go onto the pitch, when they, after all is said and done, do we have coaches who are good enough? Because as we saw yesterday, you asked me the question. The English team went all the way to the final, but the coach is said to have failed them because he didn't coach them well. In the past 10 years, we have gotten to the AFCON final, the African Cup final twice. Okay, with Abraham Grant's team. We went all the way to penalties and we lost the penalties. So we didn't win. It didn't mean that our players were not passionate. That year we also pumped a lot of money, but again, it came down to luck. In 2010, when Asamoah Gyan Dems were there, we went to the final with a young team just like England. We got to the final. Also, Egypt were slightly better. They had a bit of luck. So sometimes you also need a bit of luck. But I hear what you are saying. Our players need to be passionate. I mean, when people watch them, you should feel like, you know, they love the country and so on and so forth. So it's so many things, and not just about the fact that, oh, they don't love the country and all. Yes.
I think the money factor is...
Oh, yes. In fact, it's the money factor that annoys Ghanaians. You know,
no, you see, Gary, I understand that the money bit is there, but you know, again, what represents passion for anyone could be subjective, because people feel that people have to lie on the floor and be rolling, and when they are heads and all of that. You see, basically, it's a coach having to get the most out of the boys, and that's the story. We have had an even dangerous situation than England, albeit that we have won the Africa Cup of Nations 4 times. Gary mentions the 2015, and he was there live in Equatorial Guinea. I don't want to think about 2015, because 2015 we went ahead 2-0 in the penalty shootout. The third penalty should have been the end for us, and then we lost out. So it's really difficult. But Gary makes the very important point: do we have a technical team that is good enough to more or less match boot for boot when we go out there to the Africa Cup of Nations? Because it will come down to tactics. Because in every team, they have a little Thomas Partey. In every team, they've got some Kudus Mohammed. Every team in Africa today has got 1, 2, 3 stars who play outside. Therefore, it is how much you can make or get out of your team that will ultimately make you win a competition, more or less. Explore the flaws of your opponent and apply your strengths. And that's the only way you can win. That's the only way. It's down to the technical managers, because the technical team end up choosing the players. So if you choose a player, it's like, if you choose a player who comes and is not playing well, you don't look at me and say the player is not playing well. I say, why did you choose him? You should know that before you get him into the squad. That's why we are paying you the money for it, right?
Let's see how it goes, and all the best to the Black Stars. We hope that you're learning some lessons from England. Thank you, Gary L. Smith. Thank you, George Adu Jr. We are still waiting for the chaotic shout shortly, so please come back home early. And for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. There's Joy Sports link. There's more sports there. This is the polls.
5 minutes gone, and it's still coming home 1-0 against Italy. England all the way. Let me speak to a few of them here. Some of them support England, some of them support Italy. They say it's going Rome, but we will see at the end of the match where the ball goes, whether it's going home or it's going Rome. I mean, where is it going?
I think it should go to Rome. But England is playing some tactical game that I don't understand. So we watch and see what's going to happen. But now England is leading, so let's see what happens at the end of the 90 minutes.
Which team do you support?
Italy.
You support Italy. But now you are not sure whether Italy can take it to Rome.
Italy is playing the game that I want, so there's still chance for them. So let's see what happens.
Tell me the truth. Which team do you support?
I'm supporting the Azzurri.
Okay, so is it at this point? Is it still going Rome or it's coming home?
Well, the thing is, I mean, England is leading 1-0, but hopefully in the second half we'll come back strongly. We'll equalize, get the winning goal, and then it's going back to Rome.
You are so hopeful.
Yes, I'm very hopeful that it's going back to Rome. It's going to Rome.
We shall see at the end of the day. Is it going home or it's going Rome? Oh my goodness. Oh, where are the England guys? Is it going home or Rome? No. You don't know where it's going. Oh God, he's not confident. He's not confident. Goodness.
Britain.
Yeah. England.
Yes, England.
The way I'm matching it, Rome and
before I be matching, now cap on Britain. Yes.
It's Rome for then now.
A friend said, Pope Wada. You're 100%. It's now we go.
Yeah, England. Straight is going home. Which team do you support?
I support the football, and obviously the best team has to win.
Okay.
As long as what I see is, as of now, England is playing well, so probably they will win. Yeah.
Tell me the truth from your heart. Which team do you support?
Yeah, obviously it's for me it's Italy. Yeah, but the way the England is playing, probably they will win. Yeah.
So you agree it's going home?
Yes.
Sing with me. It's coming home.
No, I can't sing that because I support Italy. Yeah.
Well, but I like your honesty that England will be the winner.
Yeah, because they are playing well, no doubt.
We'll see how it goes. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Dom. Call me Dom.
Dom.
But it's all about Rome. It's all about Rome. We've said it before.
Why do you think it's Rome? Why do you think it's Rome?
It's Rome.
They've scored you one.
It's coming Rome.
After 45 minutes.
Probably because we didn't start so well, but I think that we've gotten back onto the game. And see, it's coming Rome. Anyhow it is, it's coming Rome.
All right, we'll find out after 90 minutes. We'll find out after 90 minutes.
We have struggled a lot, you know, and then the English Premier League is the toast of the world. Without football, the English Premier League, there's no football in the world. Yes, so they have to win so that we rejuvenate the football in the world. Anybody who loves football must support England for them to win.
So sing it for me.
Yeah, we are winning. We are winning. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, it's coming home.
So this is where we're going to be bringing you live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. We promise you that we're going to be bringing you the live coverage from Wembley. It's England up against Italy. This is the final of the 2020 Euro, and it's going to be heavily fought. So this is where we are. This is where I'm going to be sitting to do the commentary for you. It's very, very simple as that. Of course, Ghana, MBS TV, this is what's going to be coming. I've got the first screen here that's going to be giving me all the statistics that I need. At the moment, we know who the referee for the game is, Bjorn Kuipers. And then over here is my little screen where I'm going to be, more or less confirming things. Even though I can watch live here, I'll be confirming a lot of the things here, and I'll be broadcasting your way. This is a little codec machine that's going to be sending the voice here to you guys. So just a very simple commentary box, and we're looking to bring you the commentary. The truth is, we'll be faster than television. You have to accept that. So even though you're watching the Joy Prime Television